in the bush, down in the bush. Shake it, shake it. Oh yeah. Bush music. I asked her how she feeling, if she was feeling fine. This how we does do it in the bush bohemian style. Only this bush music will make you feel alright. I asked her if she want more, then she hold me tight and say, if it's all night, it gon' be alright tonight. That's what she said. If it's alright, it gon' be all night tonight. Cause I take her down in the bush. I say, baby, come this way. Deep in the bush. I let your body sway. Down in the bush. Now wind down to the ground. Deep in the bush. People jumping up and down in the bush. In the bush. Bush party. 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 Yeah. Say down in the bush. Man, play them on. Play it all night long. Do this wreck and scrape. T-Connection style. Yeah, 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 yeah. Grab that girl, man. In the bush, in the bush.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything, there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The foundation. Foundation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, all over the world, wherever you are here in the city of Nassau, wherever you are out there in the ethos. I want to say good afternoon to you. Hope you guys are good. Hope everything is going well with you. I continue to be able to pray for those things as a lot's been happening. Last time we had a conversation, I said to you, be safe. Be safe. And we had a significant tragedy that actually happened over the weekend. I want to continue to be able to pray for those families and pray for those persons who are involved. I think it's fitting, it's necessary, it is a part of our humane responsibility as Bahamians to be able to identify this and to be able to speak with the level of sobriety, clarity, and speak to. We got to be able to charge our atmosphere with life. I hear a lot of doom and gloom going around, a lot of persons being able to kind of discuss and have this kind of a conversation about what's happening here, what's happening there. There's a lot that's happening, but I want to be able to say to you with clarity that we pray for you. We pray for these families. We pray for the families that's here and all 10 of the persons that lost their life in that plane crash. You know, so many times you want to be able to tell the tale, right? You know what I mean? Like you want to be able to kind of tell the tale of the tribulation that you would have gone through and you made it. To Mateo Winder, to Franklin Cambridge, to Tonika Gillett. Oh, let me put these glasses on so I can be able to see this. To Melvin Henfield, to Giovanni McKenzie, Quentin Mayers, Marco, Macaro Roll, Rashad Storr, Tavares Johnson, Nicholas Oliver Jr. We continue to be able to pray for you and your families. This has not been easy. This has not been something that we could be able to tout. There's a lot of people who are saying silly things, and I pray that your mind is renewed and restored from stupidity. This is something that's very strong for us. This is something that's heavy for the entire nation to carry. We pray for these things. We pray for these people. And we pray for realignment, rejuvenation, and a very clear understanding of where we are. This is not easy for us as a people. It's not. Just on the heels of being able to do this, as the mausoleum continues to be able to go up down there in Cat Island, in preparation to be able to accept Diamond and her friend down there in Cat Island. He ain't put them in the ground yet. And now we're looking at this tragedy. It's time for us to be able to understand. I keep saying this. It's time for us to move with sobriety. You know, I don't want to be able to put more on this than we can bear, but I want to be able to talk about it just a little bit today. And we can dive into that. I thought I would open up the show with let you know that with sobriety about where we are as a people and being able to do that. And let you know that we're going to be talking about it a little bit today. Guys, this is 89.5 FM. Foundation Radio with Howard Grant. I'm always grateful to be here with you. Got to shout out my good, decent people that continues to be able to join us and jam with us. I want to thank you so very kindly for being able to do that. And thank you for all that you've done in terms of your support. They are none other than Carpet World. Carpet World, they had a great sale going on. I don't know if the sale has continued, but it's 341-867-183, 341-8671 Carpet World. You want to be able to get down there and find out what you can from Carpet World. They can be able to assist you whatever they can. And being able to do that, make sure you get yourself a nice carpet. Get yourself some nice flooring, whether that's your tiles, your laminate floors, whatever that is. You can be able to do that at Carpet World. Ask for Kyle Williams, and he'd be more than happy to assist you. His number again, 341-8671. That's 341-8671. Coco Plum Wellness. We talked about the hydrocolonic. We talked about this kind of a preparation. We talked about all these particular things. I see a lot of people talking about this kind of a clay diet. This clay fast, but you take the clay and the binder and so forth and so on, then you see this kind of a mucus thing come out. Well, you want to be able to add that with the hydration of your colon. If you're doing things like that, you want to be able to hydrate your colon and get yourself cleansed out properly. And you can only do that with hydrocolonics over there at Coco Plum Wellness. They can be able to assist you with that. The numbers you can call there today is 445-8111. I think I saw something else, you know. There was another number that I saw them put up. I just look at them on some commercials that I was putting up the other day. But this is for the hydrocolonic. So let's look at this Coco Plum. Let me see what Coco Plum Wellness got for you going on down here. Coco Plum Wellness Bahamas. Let's pull it up. There's a number here attached to this thing. And let me see if I get this here. Now, I got to talk to Dr. Teresa because she had a great little special going on with us at one point. So let's just see if that thing continues and we could be able to make some things happen. The numbers today, 818 7586 818-7586. I suppose that this is the office number, 818-7586. And 445-8111. That's the numbers. 818-7586. And they're located in the One West Plaza. So you can be able to find out more information from them, about them, to see exactly what they offer, the prices, so forth and so on. They are open now, eager to be able to serve you in this particular capacity and make sure that you're good in those areas. All right. So that's Coco Plum Wellness. Also, you want to be able to go down to Sell All. Sell All for all your electronic needs, your appliance needs, all those particular needs, so electronic and supplies, you can be able to do that. Find everything that you need from Sell All. The numbers you can call today at Sell All is 361-7267. 361-7267. They're located on Carmichael Road, right across the street from Cousin McPhee Church. I just tell you that. When we get down there, right across in a big 2-story building, I think they got a here on one side, but the other side they have like these big, you'll see it, right? So it's right there. Ask for Mr. Marshall. He'd take very good care of you. 361-7267. Wherever you go, tell him Harvard sent you. Amen? Howard Grant. Let him know I sent you. Yeah, what you mean? Listen, when I come to your place, I looking for, listen, if you don't give me it, that's fine. That's on you. But when I come to your place, I'm going to ask for a discount. You might think it was a joke because I can say it in such a manner that they don't feel like I begging and you smiling. Ha ha ha. But I'm serious as a black man. I just want to be very clear. I just want to be very clear with you. Ask these people what they have to offer if they have anything they offer. Whether that's 5% off, whether that's 10% off, whatever the case may be. You're getting in there from a reference point. Let them know that you were sent down there. I can see if we could be able to do a live remote with these particular persons and make some things happen. Let them know. 361-7267, 361-7267. You can ask for them. And also go down to Garden of Eden. Same principles apply. Just let's be very clear. You may not give you nothing free, but you may end up with you know what I mean, a little extra slice of Johnny bread. Anything you get, these are the things we give God praise for. Amen. Don't praise God to get a little bit. My daughter, Love, she right here with me. She should come on the mic and say hello. My daughter, Love. Come, baby doll. Come sit with dad. Come sit with your daddy. My daughter, Love these people chicken and bread. That's all she wants. She's got a Sunday and she says, Daddy, can I have some wings and a piece of Johnny cake? I never seen nothing like this before in my life. I'm only saying this to you to make you to understand that the Johnny cake is excellent. You want to go down there and get yourself some good stuff, man, good Bahamian breakfast. Want to be able to do that? I want you to meet my daughter. She look like she's shy, but it's my daughter. Come, baby dog. She come to work with Daddy today. She's a big girl. She in college now. This is the same one who used to be running up and down. Hey, yeah. It's a big girl now, you know. She's a big woman. Come on, sit down here. You can take off your headphones. Come sit down here and say hello on the camera. Oh, Lord, she's shy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my daughter, Judea Hillary Tyler Grant. Praise God for her. Just come and say hello. Come on, sit down. Bring the mic close. Turn the mic on. Say hello. And no, just say hello. Hello. Turn the mic on. Hold up. Not buzzing. Say something. Hello. She should shy. Anyway, I told her I wanted to have one show here with me. She loves to do movie reviews. We're going to do that. So Thursdays, we're going to work it out so we could get something either at Island House or Fusion or someplace so she could do movie reviews. She's a movie buff. I thought I was bad, like watching the thing. She know everybody name. She's all the Rotten Tomatoes. No, Daddy, this movie wasn't a good movie. I think this all shit. So she'll be doing movie reviews and she'll be talking about that. She goes to UB in Grand Bahama so she could do it from wherever she's doing it. I don't know if she can watch the movie from Grand Bahama. Ain't no movies in Grand Bahama, praise Jesus. But I'll watch it for her and relate, and then she can be able to rate it. But she's here with us and just being able to talk about these things. So she's excited about that. Let the people know. You excited? Positively. We got to fix this thing here. I see a buzz coming through the line. All right, guys. I want to be able to do that. Well, thank you so much, ma'am. You could leave now. Thank you so much. All right. That's my daughter, ladies and gentlemen. She's here with us. Guys, check me out. Foundation242.com. Foundation242.com. Foundation242 across social media. You can be able to see that and see exactly what's what and get those things taken care of. But it's a beautiful day, man. Outside of this tragedy, outside of this loss, outside of the pain and the heartbreak, outside of the position that's happening out here, I have this kind of a gratitude for being alive. I want to say that to you. I'm grateful for being here. I'm grateful for being here. I have a level of gratitude just for being alive. I think we would have been able to see, I think Mitch McConnell, I can't remember who, one of the senators actually passed away. You've been looking for one to pass away. He revived and another one passed away. Let me see. I know I put it down to be able to identify that. But he passed away, man. I have a level of gratitude and optimism and enthusiasm about the fact that we're here and we're living. And I never want to be able to kind of overshadow and be able to speak with this kind of a clarity that we know that we're still here and our brothers and sisters have passed away, but we still, Lindsey Graham. Yeah, Lindsey Graham. All right, Yeah. So Lindsey Graham, Mitch looked like he on his way out soon. No, Mitch McConnell looked like he, yeah. These senators out here, 90 years old. 90 years old. And they still doing their thing. Oh, we can't let these things happen. I don't understand why you continue to tout this concept and idea of democracy. You can let these people be in here until they're 128. It is too much. It's too much. That's why I'm trying to tell you that power doesn't concede. You got to take this thing back. You got to snatch this thing. Power doesn't concede. You got to go get that. Excuse me. Thanks so much. This is ours. I want to take this with us. Thanks so much. You got to go get that. And that's the kind of position that we have to be in to talk about these things. So it's been an active weekend. Let's check out the papers and see exactly what's going on in the papers today. I want to be able to talk about that. I really am 10 died in a plane crash. Let's see if we can say that. These stories are so sad. I honestly God, I don't even want to read it. Because it happened from Friday and we fested on it on Saturday. We prayed about it on Sunday. I don't want to relive it on Monday. Is that that's just me. I mean, I don't want to be naive about the fact that, death happens and this is an essential part of our job and responsibility for being able to have these kind of a conversation. I'm not naive about what's happening out here. I'm not naive. But I don't, it's just so much, man. It's just so much. I want to be able to say that to you. So tragedy struck on Friday, Independence Day, when the plane carrying about 10 people crashed near North Andros Airport, killing all on board. 5 members of the well-known DuPont band died in the crash, including band leader Giovanni McKenzie, Rashad Storr, Mateo Winder, Tonika Gillett, and Travis Johnson. Melvin Henfield, a DJ, and Andros native Quentin Mayers and Marco Roll, who both worked at Ocean Key, were also on board the flight. The pilot, Franklin Cambridge, also died in the crash. Relatives of Nicholas Oliver Jr., 16, said that they believe that he was also on board the plane when it crashed. Police have not yet released the names of the dead and are unclear what led to the crash. Authorities say that the Cessna 402 plane, a Flamingo aircraft with registration number C6FLX, was flying from New Providence. Let's go. This is on A7. Let's check it out. It said that it was flying from New Providence to San Andres with 10 people. It crashed in the pine forest near North Andros Airport sometime after 12 p.m. First responders found the aircraft in flames and the charred remains of 9 people. One survivor, Marco Roll, 24, who managed to run out of the mangled fuselage, was found with extensive burns covering his entire body. Kelson Fowler, a friend of Roll, told this is Nassau Guardian reading, told the Nassau Guardian that he raced to the crash site and sat with his friend for nearly 2 hours, praying and calling his relatives. Roll was eventually put on an ambulance and taken to the airport while arrangements were being made for an emergency medical flight to the United States of America. But Roll died during the wait. Late Friday night, shortly before midnight, the remains of the victims were transported from Andros to New Providence. During a press conference on Friday, Prime Minister Philip Ray Davis said that the Independence Day had been marked by tragedy. Today is a day of celebration, but it became a day of mourning. This is what he said. My wife, Anne, and I are heartbroken. To every family that has received the devastating news that someone that they love will not be coming home, we offer our deepest condolences. There are no words that can take away your pain. The Ministry of Energy and Aviation also announced on Friday that the Civil Aviation Authority, Bahamas CAAB, temporarily suspended the air operator certificate of Flamingo Air. It said that the suspension was imposed in the interest of aviation and safety following two safety incidents that occurred today. Early on Friday, another Flamingo Air aircraft was headed to Maguana and had to return to New Providence due to engine trouble. The Aircraft Accident Aviation Authorities said that it's investigating the crash and that its sole objective is not for appropriating blame or liability, but preventing future accidents. AAIA Chief Investigator Kendall Dorset Jr. is the investigator in charge of this occurrence, is what he said. The investigation remains in its preliminary stage. Investigators will continue to gather and analyze factual information relating to all aspects of the occurrence, including the aircraft, flight operation, maintenance, meteorological information, and air traffic services, and any other relative evidence. At this stage of the investigation, no determination has been made regarding this case or contributing factors to the accident. Any information currently available is preliminary and subject to change as additional evidence is obtained and analyzed. It's kind of the insert and the layout is exactly what's happening. Flamingo Air put out some stuff. Let's see if we can be able to find that and read that so you can be able to be abreast exactly what's happening also. Let's see if we can find that. Let me type it in. Flamingo Air. They put some information out, and I think this is it. Flamingo Air has announced the suspension of all flights effective July 10th following the Friday's fatal plane crash in North Andros. Passengers who booked tickets can begin the refund process from 12 noon Monday, July 13th, with so just 20 minutes ago they started that process, with customer service available Monday through Thursday, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. All passengers holding tickets for Flamingo Air are advised that the flights have been suspended effective July 10th, 2026, beginning at 12 noon on Monday, 13th of July, 2026. Our team will be making and receiving calls to execute refunds. This process will take place daily, Monday to Thursday from 12 noon to 4 p.m. Flamingo Air apologizes for the inconvenience caused and remains appreciative of the public's patience and coordination during this most difficult time. Your cooperation. Our thoughts and prayers remain with the families of loved ones and passengers who died. July 10th plane crash in North Andros. The numbers that you can dial in Nassau for them is 605-3563. That's 605-3563. Or if you're in Grand Bahama, that's 351-4963. 351-4963. Flamingo Air. Oof. That's a hard blow to swallow. That's a hard blow to swallow. And it's hard to do. This is a little something that actually came through.
He gave us a call. He called my father, Anthony Wall. He's like, Daddy, please come for me. Daddy, please come for me. So we thought he did something like a little sibling.
Let's put this up there so you can be able to see exactly what's what. We can start this off again.
Some skin on his body. Oh yes, I wouldn't say
Let's try it over again. Can you hear it?
evil, and he's like, Daddy, come for me. So we thought he just had like a little survey. When we got there, he had no skin on his body. Full body, a little bit about his face, but everything,
What happened to this thing here?
something like that. But when we got there, on his, I wouldn't say on his full body, a little.
This is kind of weird. I don't know why this.
But
thing
everything
is-
was fully burned. But he still was talking when we started over him. He talked. Everything was good. But I just wish they had a faster response here on the island. I think my brother still would have had a chance to survive.
What were some of those things that he was saying to you in those final moments? Did he describe what happened?
Said the plane was just shaking plenty. And all of a sudden they just drop out the sky. That's what he said to us.
We can't remember how he get from that.
Yeah, man.
Ambulance. They said about 15 more minutes because he's trying to take him straight to the States. And have him sorted out. Because here in the Bahamas, there's nothing much that they could have done with him here. There's nothing much they could have done with him.
I know to see him in that state was probably very rough.
It wasn't, but at that time I had to
Just trying to get our brother to safety.
take it in and, take it in and be a man. Tried my best, take it in. But he gave.
It's hard to swallow. It's hard to swallow. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if it's our faith. I don't know if it's our position. I don't know if it's the conditioning of who we are as a people. But the very first thing that I ask, and as I imagine that plane going down, no matter people's position, the one thing that kicks in, and I gotta say this, and you can fight me. Hold on, that's Julian. Julian. That's Julian. I calling him back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Julian.
Hello.
Hey, Julian. Good morning. What's happening? This is Howard Grant on the Foundation.
Howard Grant,
89.5.
good morning, sir. How are you?
What's up? I just missed your call. What's up?
Allow me to give my condolence to the Cooper family.
Yeah.
Val, with a daughter, that her son was a part of that band. They're originally from Cradle Bell Church. Everybody knows the Coopers from Cradle Bell. Their mommy had the
Cooper's
liveliest prayer meeting on the corner of Zion Boulevard and Blue Hill Road. There's a house right there. I think they broke the house down now. They turned it into a yard where there's have events.
I ain't got no
That's
Cooper.
the Cooper doors.
But this ain't no Cooper on the list. Pass away.
No. It's mom. Val is from the Cooper family.
Okay.
I don't remember. I know her husband, Rufus, at that time. I don't remember her new marriage title. But they my sister, those were very, very close to them. Very, very close. All of them grew up in Greater Bell with Dawkins, with Bishop David Dawkins, all of them. But what I hear a lot of people are saying that this plane had 10 people on it, and some people say only 7. How much seats was on this plane? This was a 10-seater, 7-seater.
I know. I sure we
What
can
was
get
the
into
size
that.
of the plane?
It's
People are
called
trying to make an argument saying that 10 people was on the plane, and
Cessna
no,
402.
they say 7 people was on the plane, and the Prime Minister come back and say 10 people was on the plane. How big this plane was? Was this plane designed for 10 people?
Let's look at it right now. Cessna 402 capacity. Okay, so it says that the Cessna 402 one pilot and 6 to 9 passengers could be able to fit in the plane, right? So it's 10 people.
Okay, so that's 10 people. That's 10. I could hold 10 people comfortable.
Yeah.
That was designed for 10.
The Cessna 402 is a twin-engine piston aircraft typically configured to carry one pilot and 6 to 9 passengers. Seating configurations vary in specific models of the 402A or B or C, and the exact use of either air charter or the corporate transport. So all this information is in there.
Okay, so nine, and the pilot make 10. Okay, they carry the right amount. So some people were trying to make it seem like it was a 7-seater carrying. I would grant, if I with my eye condition, if I go on a 7-seater, and they try to bring one more child on that, to say 8 people, I ain't got enough.
Julian, stop it! You can't see nobody coming on the plane. Are you can see people can't come on the plane?
No, I was in my surroundings. I know who around me. I know how much people around me.
You got antennas now.
I have to depend on my sense. I can't depend on my sight. No more, I lose my sight. I have to depend on my sense. If I'm going on a 7-seater, how you can talk, but we can fit 8? That's like a man taking your engine down. I can tell you, you won't need all them screws when you finish.
Well, that's what he's doing.
He's trying to make a whole bucket of screws. Now you don't need all them screws. And he put a new engine in, but you don't need all them screws.
And the engine fall out on Blue Hill Road.
But listen to me. And another thing I want to comment on. This thing with Miss Melinda Wilson from the Teachers Union.
We didn't get to that yet, but go ahead.
She looked like she mad because the government went and fined 300 teachers without her. So now she wants to strike back in a way of saying about the teachers, them owe this money. The government know they owe the teachers. The government know they have some money for the teachers. The teachers is going to get their money. But see, this tactic what she used to use for we could meet in Ross and Smith, I don't date it now. There ain't no sense when people going to start up. You see how hard the sun is when they're talking about go on strike in Ross and Smith? In this heat? You don't have to be a fool.
They may still
you know what I'm saying? And they're bringing in some teachers from Ghana. Ghana has some of the best colleges. My friend did a research on Ghana for me, and he's reading some stuff. Ghana has some of the best colleges in the world. And they're bringing 300, and it's good to bring in 300 teachers from one place, I would grant, because you don't have to worry about the barrier, with the culture and everything. You get 300 people to book out the corner hotel. Put all them right there. Let them live right there. Lease out the corner hotel. Lease couple just need pick them up in the morning, drop them to school, pick them up in the evening, drop them back home. Man, I don't have this plan out for them.
You have a plan out for them?
Melinda Wilson, my only problem is the language barrier. Once the children can understand, because I remember when my children were in a private school, I don't want to call the name of the school, but every time my son come home, he would complain he couldn't understand what the teacher was saying. So I took it upon myself one day to go into class and sit down. And I couldn't understand what the teacher was saying for sure. And then when I found that a lot of the parents in the school, in the class, had the same problem with the children when they come home.
The official language in Ghana
is clear.
The official language in Ghana is English.
What is that?
English.
Okay, well, I straight that.
Yeah.
So what they worrying about? What she's worrying about? Just because, see, she looked like she had show up. How the minister could go get them 300 teachers without her?
No, well, see, people need to stop it. Belinda does her job, okay? And she does.
Yeah, but our job is to run the BUT, not the Ministry of Education.
Yeah, but she take all this on. It's the responsibility of the government and all those persons that supported all these particular elements to ensure that they fortify their position, they cross all their T's and dot all their I's because they know Belinda got something to say about it. So they got to do it properly.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, Howard Grant, I understand you, I understand you. The Honorable I. Chester Cooper is responsible for education. Miss Melinda Wilson is responsible for the teachers' union. That's two different entities. Mm-hmm. Now, once he already has all the teachers lined up in a row, he has everything, then he could meet with her and say, well, okay, this is what we bringing here for you. This is what we're doing. Give the man a chance to do his work first. Come on now, would you jump in the gun for? But we going downtown and in Rawson Square. That's a big going to Rawson Square if you don't go. Mm-hmm. Care what chair there, sit down, care one of the beach chair, go lay down, do whatever you want to do. That's the Beaver Square. Go there. But come on, let's make sense. And I asked a teacher, what Miss Melinda Wilson, I ain't degrading nobody, I ain't degrading no part of teaching. What Miss Melinda Wilson used to teach? I thought Miss Melinda Wilson was a PE teacher.
Belinda was an excellent teacher in all her capacities.
I heard that she was a PE teacher, a physical education teacher.
Don't diminish the woman. That's the same thing that the
No,
people
I'm
here
not saying. That's why I said
about
that's why
your member.
I said what I said.
Your good, decent member of parliament.
I ain't knocking down no teachers.
Your good, decent member of parliament, and all that she does with her tenacity, the people was carrying slanderous, nasty things about her, about how she's only a hot dog vendor. You remember that?
Yeah, but that was
let's just be decent.
That was a
no, but I'm saying you don't. Let's not get political.
That was something like where the white money going. You remember that?
But what I'm saying to you is
what
that
I was like.
Don't never throw into the phrase something that you're not willing to defend.
That's why I made sure I made my disclaimer before I said what I said. I don't degrade no teacher.
Okay.
I don't degrade no teacher's aide. I don't degrade nobody. I'm just saying, for a woman to rise, that she have won.
Belinda is doing her job.
Almost 15 times.
Belinda is doing her job.
Almost 15 times she have won.
Yeah, I think over 10. Belinda is doing her job.
Yeah.
And it's people like you and other persons who defend these particular positions to add conversations to the fray and let the government to be able to make a determination.
In closing, I say let the minister do his job, then present his case to her. You can't come to a conclusion before you get the whole matter. You have to get the whole matter before you get the conclusion.
And she says
so allow the minister to do his part.
Yeah.
And then come to her and say, okay, Miss President, this is what we have. What you think about this? He can't sit until he get the people lined up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then you listen.
Yeah, man, we can dive into the conversation. I appreciate your telephone call, Julian. And guys, if you want to be able to give me a call, I'd love you to do so. Hit me up. The numbers you can call me today are 827-0111, 827-0111. I don't like that. Don't diminish people for their job. Don't do that. Don't do that. Belinda out here working hard. She works hard for her money. She doing what is required by her union. It is our position, both locally and by extension nationally, to be able to identify the pros and cons of these positions that the government is taking, the concepts and ideas associated with being able to bring in the influx. I think that we've come to a very clear and decisive position as a nation that we can't do this by ourselves. That people are not running towards. There's no enthusiasm. You know when there's enthusiasm, y'all don't want to have this conversation with me. Turn my mic up so these people can hear me, because I don't think they can hear me. Turn me up just a little bit. Okay, let's do this. Just a little taste. I remember that when I was in Amarok High School, Andre Burbal was my teacher. You remember Andre Burbal? Allegations of rape, and he get sentenced and go on to jail. And the fella said that he got HIV from Andre Burbal, and Andre Burbal indicated that he didn't have HIV. All this is documented information in the papers. I'm not telling you nothing what nobody said on the side of the road, and I'm telling you documented information in the newspaper. Andre Burbal was my teacher. He was my art teacher from 7th to 9th grade. Okay? Now, I was creative, and I'm good at art. I could draw, and all these. My kids draw, all of them. Every single one, including the little baby girl right now. Every single one. In fact, Hillary is here doing a mural for me on the wall. Right? That's what she's here to do. All right? So they prime in the wall, and she'll do a mural on my wall. My daughter. We artsy-fartsy. That's just what we is, okay? My brother also, Stefan Grant, he's an artsy guy. He paints, does all these things. So this has just been in our blood for a long time, right? So Mr. Burbal was my teacher from the 7th grade in 1993 to the 9th grade in 1994, 5, 6, 1996. Okay? The guys always speculate that Mr. Burbal was funny. my schoolmates. Right? Mr. Birbal always used to say things like, well, Howard, if you want to, we can be able to do something like lunchtime or anything like that. I didn't do that. I didn't even draw and then go into this kind of a stay in here. But there were some people who did that. And his art room all of a sudden had air conditioning. And every lunchtime in grade 10, 11, and 12, it was locked. Now, this was peculiar to me. Now, we ain't say nothing. Because the whole of 8 Mile Rock hot. Talk to me. The whole of 8 Mile Rock High School hot. All in the, only 2 rooms used to be locked up. You all don't want me to talk like this. The science lab and the art room. And then the teacher's lounge. It's the only 3 places that had air conditioning. Good. Administrative office, of course. But the science lab, the art room, and the teacher's lounge. That's it. Nobody else had no air conditioning. We had to figure out how we could get a longer stick to push through the window and pray to Jesus that the wind blow this direction. It's just what it was. But all of a sudden in grade 10, 11, 12, this room boarded up. I mean locked down tight. With air conditioning buzzing in the middle of the day. And little children in the room. It's the truth. I'm not telling you no word of lie. Come to find out years later, all these allegations came out, speculations came out, positions came out. This man was messing with the little children, allegedly. And then he gone to jail for it. From that point, I watched teachers, my teachers, who are enthusiastic about children who had potential. They always used to identify and kind of swim through the fray and identify talent that they see in kids and say, I don't think I want you to be able to do this. Why don't you come? I can teach you after school and blah, 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 blah. I think you can do this, right? So I was one of those kids. I was always a smart child, but my teachers used to say to me, how would you never apply yourself? Apply meaning you study, you show yourself approve, you retain the information. It was passing information. It come through one ear. I understand that I was able to say an answer and it gone through the next ear. I didn't retain the information. I wasn't interested in it, right? And as a result of that, this is what happened. My teachers refuse. After Mr. Birbal, they refused to watch any other children to be identified or any allegations of something happening. There was a principal in one of the schools here in Nassau who found themselves in the same issue with a young girl, and there were speculations, allegations, and conversations that said that he didn't do what these allegations were being levied against him. Y'all remember these stories? Y'all just pay attention to things just like me. If you didn't, you wouldn't be listening to me. You understand? You pay attention to these things. These teachers have no enthusiasm for this new generation of children to be sitting down with them, being able to assist them with nothing. Our younger teachers, in 1997, and this pretty little teacher come in now, 1997, we 2 years away from graduation. I graduated in 99. 1997, this young teacher, I can't remember what she name. I think she's a Smith or something. Little red teacher coming there, short hairstyle, pretty teacher. She coming there. We couldn't even pay attention. We said, Jesus, wait. But wait. We supposed to be in class. Me and my boys, we couldn't pay attention. We cutting up with the teacher. My God, look at the teacher. My God, I need extra class. We growing to be man now. The young teachers didn't have the level of enthusiasm that we had when we were younger. Our Bahamian teachers, not all of them, I can't throw the whole kit and caboodle into one bucket. I can't do that. But I will say to you that a great deal of our teachers identify this occupation as transactional. They do this and speak with language that says, hey, whether you do this or you don't do this, I am getting paid at the end of the month. I don't care if you retain this information. That never existed in the 80s. That never existed in the 90s, in the early 90s. By the time as the late 90s came around, the teachers, we never see this level of fine teachers in our life. The teachers turn young. Next thing you know, my son, can I say this to you? Can I say this? My son, handsome like his daddy, praise God. He's slim though. Slim. He weighed 12.5 pounds on a hot day in the sea. Small, right? So, but he handsome, red. After he come out of school, the children can tell me, this teacher used to flirt with my son. She wasn't a teacher, she was a teacher's aide. I say, what? So I ask him, I say, that's them, boom, boom, boom. He say, well, Daddy, yeah, but not really, yeah, but no. I said, hold on, what? The teacher's flirting with you? What happened in 1997? Why they couldn't flirt with me, right? This is my mind, right? But I'm looking at this and I realize the dynamics is shifting in our country. The teachers identify these jobs as transactional. Now, Belinda ain't gonna say this to you. Belinda ain't gonna tell you this. She ain't gonna say this to you. She's not gonna have this conversation with you to make you to understand that there is a shift that's happening in these particular spaces. And for the attention to be placed on these students and for the attention and for these children to retain information, maybe we need to shift the dynamics. She ain't gonna say this to you. She's also not going to say to you, and I read something from Quentin LaRota. Quentin put it on his Facebook page. I don't know if he wanted the whole Bahamas to know what he say, but I'm going to read it. Quentin is a friend I know from Grand Bahama. And his Facebook page actually been saying some stuff. He had some very good information out there and being able to talk about it. Let me see if I can read this thing for you so you can see exactly what's what. Hold on now. I'm touching this thing and it ain't taking me to where, unless he took it down already. Yeah, must he take it down? I see you. Because he said it. Let me pull up his page and see what's up. All right, so he had some information in there. The Ministry of Education is recruiting teachers from Africa will fill the shortages of education system. I'm going to read this. Okay, Quentin, don't fight me. Quentin, don't fight me. I hope that it's okay. I am going to read this. In fact, let me see if I could call Quentin. I know I had his number. Quentin had affiliation with the union in Grand Bahama, and he was responsible for a great deal of things, and so he knows the system very well. First thing I did this morning when I rolled over, I saw this, I read it, and I saved it because I was supposed to call him, but then life happens. I got 3 telephone calls and really get distracted from being able to do this. But I want to be able to read this to you and let you know exactly what Quentin says. This is Quentin LaRota from Grand Bahama. He was one of the persons who was responsible for these particular things, and he did very well in being able to say this. And so I want to be able to read to you and say to you what Quentin said on his Facebook page. And I hope you don't cuss me for this, but let's go. 17 hours ago, he put this out there. And so we read it. The Ministry of Education is recruiting teachers from Africa to fill the shortage in the education system. Ghana is a new country to recruit from. The recruiting teachers from other countries have been a part of the Bahamas from the first government school opened in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This is what he's saying. Recruiting of teachers has been a part of the Bahamas from the first government school opened in the Commonwealth. As an executive in the Bahamas Union of Teachers, I was on 3 recruiting trips to Cuba. Hello. We recruited teachers in technical and vocational areas, sciences, special education, and Spanish. Prior to Cuba, the Bahamas recruited from Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, and other CARICOM countries. This was stopped by an agreement between the CARICOM countries not to recruit teachers from each other. Then it goes on to say that there is a narrative developing and being pushed that these teachers are somehow taking away from the Bahamian teachers. I even saw a call from parents to take action against the African teachers. How silly. You ought to read it for yourself. So parents are supposed to take action against teachers being recruited to teach their children? I also saw some comments about pay. These recruits have no impact on teachers' pay. All teacher salary will be increased this year. BECAWU signed an agreement with government in April 2026. All teachers will have increases in their salary, allowances, and even increments. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Hold on now. I lost the thing. Let me see. And even increments. Where are we? Since the starting teacher salary has been increased and the bar has been moved beyond the $50,000 per year. Objectively speaking, it is the best deal ever negotiated for teachers. Objectively speaking, he's saying, this is the best deal ever negotiated for teachers. I say it because I've been involved. This is Quinton wrote it out. He says, I say it because I've been involved in 3 industrial agreements for teachers, and I have been co-lead negotiator on 2 of them. There are issues to address as a former teacher and a union leader. I believe the unions are addressing them, but acting like recruiting teachers to fill shortages is the end of the world. That's just silly. He says, the motives have to be ulterior. Lastly, the percentage of Bahamians as a part of the teaching profession has increased tremendously over the past 20 years. The primary schools are 99% Bahamian teachers. Bahamians dominate in social sciences, in history, in biology, etc. So we need more Bahamians to take up chemistry, physics, electronics, agriculture, carpentry, auto mechanics. Skills are needed for the coming decades. So don't get caught up in the latest emotional outrage. Stop and think. Look at the facts and look at the history. My friend Quinton LaRoda from Grand Bahama. Let me see if I could call him and have him say 1 or 2 words in these particular instances. I think we blew it out of proportion. I never look at these things and get mad at Belinda, you know. I never look at these things and get angry at Belinda. I don't. I never do. I never get angry at Belinda. I never do. It doesn't make sense to get angry at Belinda. I never do. Belinda has a job or responsibility for being able to do what she must. And she does it. She does what she has to do. I don't fight her. I don't get mad at her. None of these particular things. Let Belinda do what she does. And she does it well. Those people that support her, they continue to be able to support her right down to the very, the gristle. But the truth is, if we're going to be very honest, if you're going to be transparent and being able to identify these things and talk about where we are from that standpoint, the adjutants need to be able to come from an external standpoint to be able to defend the decisions that they've made. In the newspaper today. government to recruit 300 teachers from Ghana. This is BOT calls for more offensive. BOT calls move offensive and egregious. In an effort to address the teacher shortage, Minister of Education, Science and Technology Chester Cooper said yesterday that the 300 teachers are being recruited from Ghana. However, Bahamas Union of Teacher President Belinda Wilson said yesterday that the move was offensive and egregious. This is Cooper said that the Bahamian teachers will be prioritized when filling vacancies. The task force is actively implementing strategies to attract Bahamian educators, including recently retired educators and teachers, recent graduates, and those who previously left the profession and now desire to return. This is what Cooper said yesterday in the statement, actually. He says, in keeping with the government's policy, Bahamians will be given first priority to fill all vacancies. The announcement came after Cooper previously noted that the shortfall of roughly 300 teachers, which he said is compounded by the retirements, contract expirations, and expansion of specialized areas, including special education, technology, financial literacy, financial literacy. Okay. Wow, I didn't know that they had that in school. We never had no financial literacy in school. All right? Financial literacy and digital literacy and entrepreneurial studies. Entrepreneurial studies? Oh my God. What? I didn't know they had this. Well, okay. Let's do that. And then it goes on, as Cooper said that the task force comprising of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Public Service and the Department of Labor, the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the National Accreditation and Equivalency Council of the Bahamas was established to address this need. Recognizing that teacher shortage is a global challenge, we have engaged several nations, including Ghana, Kenya, United States of America, United Kingdom, the Philippines, and others to explore opportunities for collaboration. This is what he said. Samuel Okudetsko Albakwa of Ghana's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I'm sure I am beating that name incorrectly. But anyway, of Ghana's Minister of Foreign Affairs, who was in the Bahamas this weekend, said that the agreement is the first phase of a new cooperation in education. Now, I want to say this to you. I don't know how many of y'all know this about Ghana. I'm going to read something from you. And I should call my good friend Chris. I know Chris could give me more information about this, right? Chris Davis, right? All right, Ghana has a program that they've actually set up, right? Let me read it. Ghana has positioned itself as the premier African destination in a black diaspora, inviting people of African descent to reconnect with their roots. Building on the 2019 Year of the Return campaign, the ongoing Beyond the Return initiative offers a spiritual homecoming pathways to citizenship by concession and opportunities for investment and resettlement. Following the massive success of 2019 Return of the Year, the Ghanaian government launched a 10-year strategic initiative called Beyond the Return, designed to foster economic empowerment, trade, and diaspora engagement. The program has granted citizenship to hundreds of African Americans and individuals from the Caribbean, Europe, and South America. Many of the African Americans and other members of the diasporas have actively relocated to Ghana to escape the racial tension in the West and settle in the communities where they are not minority. Dedicated projects like the Fakaran and Pan-African Village offer residential options specifically tailored for the returnees. So local experts emphasize that connecting deep with culture, such as learning in local languages like Twai, creates a far richer and more meaningful repatriation experience. I try to explain something to you with clarity. From 2019, Ghana, just like Turks and Caicos, has identified the program with a deep necessity for being able to repopulate with an organic, rich, the authenticity of blacks. For Turks and Caicos, the authenticity of Turks Islanders. So Turks Island has this sort of a program designed with specificity to be able to come back home. They call you a belonger. And so if you're second, third generation Bahamian, or second, third generation Turks Islander, not necessarily born to this particular space, once you can trace a line back to those particular persons from Turks Island, for instance, my grandfather, which is my father's father, was born in Turks and Caicos. They moved during the pining time. My father was born in Abaco. My father was born in Habaco, in Spring City, Habaco. So he was first generation Bahamian. I was born in Rand Memorial Hospital. So I am second generation Bahamian. All I got to do is show my granddaddy passport, my granddaddy birth certificate, whatever the case may be, and they create a space. Now, I don't know how this program goes, but this is the information I received. One of my brothers has done this program. In fact, one of my brothers lives in Turks and Caicos now. My youngest brother. He and his family moved to Turks and Caicos. They moved. I couldn't believe it. I said, Jesus, who's moved to TI? He moved to TI. I was thinking about the same thing, I really was. Remember I tell you all the Haitians run me out of there. I was so scared. And I was going to move there. Now, I only saying all this to make you to understand that there are some entities that don't necessarily see it as you do, through the lens of tradition, through the lens of colonialism, through the lens of a conditioned mind. They understand that from a foundational standpoint, how to re-engage these particular spaces. Ghana has been one of those spaces that has been open not just to the Caribbean, but has been open to the black diaspora from a global standpoint to say, come back home. They've created a space for you to get a passport. You can get a piece of property. There's affordability in this particular space. Whatever you need, you could go down to Ghana and get these things done. In fact, if you want that, you could speak to Andrew, who I think he was the ambassador to Ghana. Or you could speak to Chris Davis, who has gone on many trips. Every time I call him, but I come back home next week, I in Ghana. Jesus, bro, you lived in Ghana now? He can be able to assist you with greater understanding of these particular things. I'm trying to explain this to you. That these particular spaces are looking to be able to break the monotony and understanding of the colonial shackles on your mind and liberate your mind to an understanding that there is equality, there is access and opportunity that exists in these particular spaces, and there is an invitation for you to be able to come in. Now, what I see here is reciprocity. What I see here is, as a result of what has been extended to all blacks, an opportunity to be able to identify the talent that exists in their space, Ghana, to be able to provide us with an opportunity for education, growth, and development in here. Now, in growing up in 8 Mile Rock, the back of 8 Mile Rock, I think I had maybe about when I was in primary school, 6 teachers I had, 2 was Bahamian. Miss Wallace and Miss Lundy. That was the only 2 teachers I had, homeroom teachers. Who was Bahamian. All my other teachers was of a foreign something. Going to 8 Mile Rock High School, Mr. Roberts was a Bahamian. Miss Penniman was a Bahamian. Miss Brush was not a Bahamian. She was from Barbados. I'm trying to tell you, I don't understand this kind of a posture that you have. The education that we acquire, the ability to be able to read, write, and repeat, the ability to be able to teach, these skill sets that we have. Bahamians have never been running towards those jobs. The enthusiasm, the necessity, especially during a time of tribulation in this country where children are broken and they have PTSD from something that continued to be able to travel with them, some abuse that they would have gotten. They've gotten all these particular things. These teachers are not trained or not even, they have no desire to even step into that realm. Come on, man, let's be very clear about these things. Let's be clear about these things. Are we making this about the kids' retention of information and the ability to grow, or are you making this about opportunity where no one is seeking? You pursuing where no man follow. Nobody going there. Nobody ever been looking for a job in these particular areas. They have my brother was in the profession at one point and he left. And I sure they called him 850,000 times. He left. I don't know why. He never told me why. But I'm simply saying to you that looking from an external standpoint, to be able to come in a discipline area, an area and a community, a country that understands the importance of being able to see strength, black power, and opportunities, I don't think this is a bad thing. I don't think that this is just me. I don't think that this is a bad thing. And we could talk about it. I don't see that it's absolutely horrible. The Ministry of Education has indicated that they have explored with the Philippines, with the United States of America, with the UK, with Ghana. They're just looking for spaces where people are interested. You'll keep crying and screaming about this one world. There's inevitability of this potential of one world government, one world religion, all these merging concepts and ideas that are happening, and you don't believe it can happen somewhere. It happening, baby, this gonna happen. This gonna happen. And we don't have that level of sovereignty and even enthusiasm locally to be able to retain these positions. I don't know what all these things is. I don't know what you're rowing for. I don't know. I know Belinda's responsibility is to row. And maybe you pick up that argument, but you have to be able to think beyond that. Belinda has a responsibility for being able to zealously defend her position and the men and women that support her and that are part of her umbrella union. But we have a responsibility of looking at the path of the country, not through the lens of education, not through the lens of this union, but holistically. And as a part of the holistic growth and development of this country, if we look from a historic standpoint to find out whether or not this makes sense, it may make sense. You didn't have no problem when all the Barbados teachers was here and the officers that came down and understanding that we need to. I don't understand. If life is a circle, these things just coming back to us. And you have not prepared yourself to step into the fray to participate. You get all this education, all this information, and you still step back as a coward. You say, I ain't doing that. You look at the money and say, not for that. You take your qualifications and you go to the United States of America. As a nurse, as a doctor, as a pharmacist, as a teacher, you take your talents where you believe that you'll be compensated accordingly. We got nurses. We just had a forge a relationship with nurses to be able to come over from Cuba. We are looking externally to be able to fill areas that Bahamians have rejected. The idea of, listen, I ain't doing that. And that is where we are. Now, I will not fight Belinda for doing what she does, because she does what she does. But if you're adding to the fray without being able to find out more information, you do so in a naive posture. You got to be able to educate yourself. You got to find out more about these things. You got to find out more about these things. A people who could be able to speak strength into your children. are people who understand. They come from oppression and understanding these particular things. They're close to these things. Are people who could be able to come in and pour strength into them and make them to understand their responsibility and position. Are people who will not be able to come in and fortify the shackles of colonialism on the minds of the people who ain't gonna come there and say, now, Howard, you better know these things or when you get on the job working for the white man. What? There got to be some liberty, some access, some opportunity, some expansion, something that takes us beyond. Let's take a quick break, guys. We're going to be right back after this.
With Howard Grant, we'll be back right after this.
The foundation.
Soft yet firm. Our carpets are the best in the world. Visit Carpet World on Baloo Hill Road for the most luxurious collection of fine carpets. Call 341-8671 and visit our store, offering a wide selection in commercial and residential indoor and outdoor carpets, tiles, area mats, and much, much more. Carpet World and Flooring. Call us at 341-8671. We are at Baloo Hill Road waiting to serve you.
Coco Plum Wellness Bahamas. Experience the extraordinary fusion of open system hydrocolonic hydrotherapy and holistic rejuvenation. We are located at the One West Plaza for your convenience. Cleanse, revitalize, nourish. Your journey to good health, energy, and vitality begins here. Whether you are managing your health or just simply seeking a boost, Coco Plum Wellness is here for you. Call 242-818-7586. Your wellness comes first.
Residence Resort in the Garden of Eden is an ideal place for weddings and honeymoons in a tropical island setting. The dining experience is unforgettable, and it is filled with a warm and gracious cultural vibe. The atmosphere and service is second to none. Enjoy our pool bar on hot days or cool evenings when you just want to relax and have a few cold drinks and appetizers. We are located at Eastwood, Fox Hill, Nassau, Bahamas. Phone 242-819-5574. That's Residence Resort in the Garden of Eden. Come stay with us.
You are in tuned to Foundation Radio 89.5 FM. Great talk, great music, and a great staff. Reach your customers in style by advertising with us. We have a great platform and great quality reaching the island of Nassau. Call us at 242-827-0111. Foundation Radio. Advertising made easy.
The best talk show in the Bahamas. The Foundation with Howard Grant. Only on 89.5 FM Foundation Radio.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Foundation with Howard Grant. Always grateful to be with you on this beautiful day. We talked about a great deal happening out there, and really being able to identify those things and talk about where we are as a nation, as a people. We really had to kind of talk about these things because it's been crazy, man. Listen, and you know what? I blocked the couple. Well, I can't say block, because I didn't block you, right? I didn't block you, but I sure as hell didn't listen to that. I cut that foolishness off. Some telephones, well, some text and some information that came to me, started to be able to scrutinize Flamingo Air, and I'm sick and tired of y'all. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of the scrutiny that shows up after the incident, after tribulation. This kind of a scrutiny to be able to say that, you know, these people are wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I can't deal with it no more. That's just me. I can't deal with it no more. Because scrutiny should never be post-dated. The scrutiny that you offer to be able to identify who should have done something and what they can do and so forth and so on, this scrutiny is wild to me. I just got to be able to say this to you. I'm disappointed, man. I'm disappointed of all us just being able to take on this colonial concept and idea of the mountains of Caucasus, right? The Himalayas of Caucasus. It's too much. It's too much. That's not who we are as a people. That's not who we are as a people. Okay? You know, in the story that we're reading and being able to identify, they say that they stayed with Macaro, for more than 2 hours after he would have come off, and just being able to listen to what happened. The story says that he prayed with them. This is where we are anchored as a people. There is nothing else that can help us in these incidents. Looking at whether or not we could have been able to teleport someone there faster to be able to move them, right? Looking at whether or not we had the necessary thing. There is nothing else that can help in a life or death situation. As we sit here and around us, we are there are bodies littered in the space. There are bodies littered in the pine yard. As I sit here with my loved one, the only thing I could say, as I could see with clarity, that this man ain't got no skin. Only thing I could say is, let's pray. This is what I was saying to you before Julian called. This is not going to be an easy conversation to have with you, because you've rejected this. And the rejection of those things of faith, the rejection of our God, the rejection of realignment, the rejection of an assignment and understanding that there is a supremacy that exists above us that can protect us, the rejection of this sort of an idea that if you can't see God, then you reject God. There's this rejection that has gone on far too long in our country. This rejection that you feed morsel by morsel your children. You have fed your children a steady diet of anti-religion and anti-faith. Faith. You have done that. You have fed your children a diet of hate, of disdain. You have fed your children a healthy diet of skepticism. And not scrutiny with cause, just scrutiny. For the sake of scrutinizing. That's it. That's it. Your children have rejected God. They've rejected man. They've rejected church. They've rejected everything else except where all my scamming is at. You have embraced the concept of prostitution and thieving and rejected faith. You've taken on a culture of colonialism of across the board, as these particular persons who have never had faith historically in their family line never endured the tribulation of being able to figure out how much I could hold my breath when I jump into this swamp. Oh God, I hope I don't get whipped today. They have never endured these things. You've taken on their concepts. Your mother and your father, your great-grandparents, these people have come through tribulation. They have fed you all kind of chitlins and lard and devil toe off the chicken. You have eaten and survived to get to this point, to reject the concept and idea of where you come from, to accept the colonial's concept, to accept those particular, listen, I ain't talking about our brothers and sisters who here living with us now, you know. I'm not talking about our counterparts that living here with us now. I'm talking about a historic concept that you don't even recognize, man. You're sitting down here and having a conversation with me and saying that the Cessna 402, the first thing that hit my mind when I saw this story was a Leo. That's the very first thing. Now, we got to let this thing play out. We got to let it play out. We got to be able to take our time. We don't want to jump the gun. We let the thing play out. The first thing that came to my mind when I saw this, and I understand that this was because I got the call. They say a plane just gone down in the Pine Yard in Andros. And I'm hoping for the same kind of a celebratory, alleviated position that we heard on July 10th. I'm sorry, on May 12th. Okay? I'm hoping for the fact that these people are still living. I'm hoping for that. And then I get another call and say, tell Howard, everybody passed away. Somebody called my wife. Everybody passed away. So my heart broke. Then I said, maybe that's not true. And then I get a call that says that almost everybody passed away, someone lived. I get a call and says that he passed away also. I look at the story, and the first thing that I thought about when I learned that it was the porn ban was when Aaliyah came to the Bahamas. You remember Aaliyah? Rock the boat, Burke hit in the middle. You remember Aaliyah? She came in, that same video right there, that's what she came in the Bahamas to shoot. Right there, I think it was the Abacoze. In the Abacoze. And she put too much equipment on the plane, and the plane went down. It's the first thing I thought about. That's the first thing I thought about. Was it too much equipment? Now, we ain't hear nothing. I said, was it too much equipment? Was it too heavy? The closest that we would have gotten to a black box, the box that actually retains all the information as to exactly what was happening during all the information, the recorded conversations, the sort of a mayday. Everything that should have been retained in the black box. The closest we would have gotten to that is Macaro being able to speak to his family members. And we look at this and instantaneously you seek to identify somebody to blame. Instantaneously, because of the superstition that exists in your spirit, an entire airline suspended. Instantaneously, to appease the appetite of the Bahamian people who are flustered, who are afraid. Let's shut the whole operation down. I can't say this is the wrong thing to do. But these responses that we have is just peculiar to me. The plane too small. It shouldn't hold 10 people. They put too much thing. Listen, if I is the pilot, you think I'm stupid? The same principles apply. You keep looking for somebody to blame for death and the inevitability thereof, and the responsibility of every single one of us in this life to walk through that door. We cannot get out of this life alive. And we wouldn't like to believe that we're going before our perceived time. But every one of us have a door to walk through. I don't like this culture, this shifting of the culture to identify someone to blame. I don't like that. I don't like that. And you're still reactive. You're still not proactive. You still don't have a qualified position that you can be able to say, as a result of these particular things, we have done on a month-to-month basis all the necessary, and I believe that you have that, but you ain't bringing that to the forefront. We've done all our monthly checks on the plane. The plane was in good order, good working order, and that's what I'm looking for from Flamingo Air. It's hard to see our brothers and sisters fall out of the sky. It's hard to be able to see families crying the way that they are. Church family, the Revolution Church, crying. It's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy to lose someone that you love. A mother, a father, a sister, a brother, a friend, a loved one. It's not hard. It's not an easy thing. But this culture of trying to be able to figure out who to put the blame on when there is an accident is wild. Is absolutely wild. Howard, are you saying that they shouldn't do the due diligence? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that this unregulated, loose conversation about who should be charged and identified before there's a proper investigation is wild. It's wild. And wildly irresponsible. Wildly irresponsible. You believe that you're doing well. You believe that you're running at the forefront. You believe that you're providing information that someone, oh, I never thought to do that. You believe that you're doing something great, but you're heaping coals up on their heads. If you go into right now, I could be able to identify for you. Let me do this. Aviation safety demands. Long Island Member of Parliament Dr. Andre Rollins is calling for transparency and urgent answers following the fatal July 10th plane crash, saying that the government must provide clarity on aircraft oversight, passenger safety, insurance coverage. Investigation Authority. This is it. July 12, 2026 aviation safety questions that needs answers. July 12. July 12. 2 days after this thing happened. July 12. The Free National Movement, they don't even see this as insensitive. They see this as an opposition's responsibility. Post anything from a national standpoint. This is the necessity for being able to come to the forefront. Let's read it. We join the Bahamians in awaiting what we expect to be an impartial and thorough report of the Air Accident Investigation Authority regarding the fatal plane crash that occurred on Friday, July 10th. Without engaging in any speculations, what we do know is that in the wake of the crash, the government suspended Flamingo Air's Air Operators Certificate, AOC. Therefore, concerns about aircraft safety are already presumed to be a part of the question surrounding what led to the aviation accident. The public has a right to know whether or not the government will fully and transparently provide the information. We have been asked to grieve, and our country is grieving. However, a nation honors its dead by protecting its living. And that duty begins today. Not whenever an aircraft accident report is published. That duty also includes standing beside the victims' families in the days and months ahead. They should not be left to navigate grief, insurance claims, compensation, funeral expenses, legal requirements, and government agencies on their own. The government should immediately appoint a single independent family assistance team to help each affected family understand what support is available, what documents are required, and who's responsible for payment, and how claims would be processed. It should also confirm whether emergency financial assistance, counseling, and legal administrative support are being provided. Compassion cannot consist solely of condolences. It must also mean practical help, clear answers, and a process that does not force grieving families to fight through bureaucracy alone. They got a couple more things in here. I ain't gonna read all that, but you can check it out. It's on Eyewitness website. You could be able to see that. As we look at this, I just want to be able to say to you, the culture in our country, the position that we've taken on, that we've gravitated towards, that we've actually identified to say that this is a course of action that we can take, this kind of relentless regurgitation of being able to identify all the infractions post haste, all the infractions that has gone wrong, is something that we need to be able to understand as a nation, that just as Andre Rollins has indicated that condolences and grief should not only, or grief, or the bearings of this particular grief that we go through should not only be the condolences that we give, but the government's responsibility and all persons' responsibilities to be able to provide those things that can be able to alleviate us in those areas. There's an expectation if I get in an accident on the road that my car's insured. The minimum thing on this road is third party. Is it so third party? Third party. That's the minimum. Remember one time ago that you were just insured to be on the road? You remember this? That you were identified for insurance, but no one was held, like the insurance wouldn't pay. If you got in an accident with the insurance that you had, no liability. You hit somebody, the insurance ain't paying them. Somebody hit you, you ain't getting paid. You all got to work this out yourself. Compensation is a different story. Comprehensive, I'm sorry. Our country has grown significantly in being able to identify these things every time we knock our foot against something to ensure that we had these particular things taken care of. And so you can't be on the road without having the proper insurance, that if you hit someone in your vehicle, that your insurance will be able to pay that person's vehicle to be fixed. Now, your car screwed. Your car screwed. You need to figure that out yourself, but I ain't gonna pay for you, and you ain't no comprehensive insurance. But there is an insurance now that affords an opportunity to be able to get these things done. To Andre Rollins' point, there must be an insurance. I can't say that there isn't, just to be able to talk about his point. That affords an opportunity for those persons who are flying in your aircraft to be covered. I do not want to add to the endless conversation and speculation of where it went wrong. I know for an absolute fact that there is an appointment that every single one of us will meet. Undeniable fact. No matter the grief that we are burdened with for years or days or months or however long we carry this burden of separation from the ones that we love, there is an appointment that is for every one of us to make one day out of 7. Your appointment is inevitable. And every one of us will not walk through the same door. You believe that your death could eventually find you in a position where you're stretched out on your bed and you're holding your loved one hand to the left and your loved one hand to the right, and you could beep, beep, come closer, let me tell you something. Yes, you believe that you could be able to drift off like the Godfather and being able to leave a wise word like Jacob's father by being able to leave a blessing, but that doesn't happen all the time. And you'd like to believe and blame someone for something that happens, whether the inevitability of life and the inevitability of death stands before us every single day. You need to blame somebody. You slept with a woman. She agree, you agree, she get pregnant. You all don't agree on the child. The child here, you got to pay. You never knew this. There are consequences to the actions that we take. The chances that we take aren't always good. Sometimes you end up in a bad space. And we need to mature as human beings. We need to come to an understanding in our faith. We need to be reminded of not being able to stand up this society through science, and to try to lift up this society and fortify this society with science and math and all of these concepts that you've learned from a carnal perspective. We need to be able to balance our society with an acknowledgement that there is a level of faith. And the unseen that exists in this particular space, we must realign ourselves. There's absolutely nothing that we could do when it's your time to go, except say to you, in our faith, prepare yourself for the next side. I hate to have this conversation with you. I hate to it. We're too old and we come too far to be so naive, to reject the supremacy on this nation. There's two major issues. As it is in heaven, so shall it be on earth. The question is, what's going on? What transitioning to make us to be able to identify these things? 27 people died over the weekend at, I think this was Germany or someplace. I can't remember where it was. I mean, I thought it was a dragon in this room. Did you guys see it? Did you see it? I thought it was a dragon in this room. Let me see if I can open it up for you. I could not believe it, what I was looking at. I looked at this thing and I said, oh my God, what is this? I think one of the local outlets actually put it up, so I'm going to look for it right now. And this is only to let you know that accidents happen. Life is fragile. Understand your position. That's it. Understand your responsibility. Understand your position. And let's do what we have to do. Did you guys get the Marcos alert this morning? You can be able to see that. Let me see if we can find this here. Yeah, here we go. 27 people have been killed in a fire that tore through Bangkok. Thailand's Prime Minister said. Prime Minister of Thailand told the journalists that at the scene 27 bodies have been recovered and others have been taken to hospital. The cause of the fire is still under investigation, and the Prime Minister told reporters that he asked the musicians who were performing at that how the fire started and what happened. He said that there was a fire at the cutout switch, and after things happened, very quickly, there was blasting, and everybody tried to flee from the smoke and flames. I thought it was a dragon. I thought it was a dragon in this room. I don't think nobody said nothing bad on this thing. Let me let you see it. I thought it was a dragon in this room. Did you guys see it? If you didn't have a chance to check it out, we're right here, guys. You can be able to look at this right now. So I'm going to put it up here so you can be able to see it. Let's see if I can put it up now. Look at that. Look at the flame. It's just flying out of that room. Look at that. Look at that. Can you see it? Can you see it? If you can't see it, it's Foundation 242. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. You can be able to check it out. Check this out. Look at this. Can you see this? Spewing. I thought it was a dragon in this room. No. Kentucky don't pay me. Let's be clear about this. Right? I thought it was a dragon in this room, and I could not believe it. I'm simply saying to you that there is an inevitability that exists in these particular spaces. There is a very clear understanding that every day you take a chance. My mother told me one time she was a manager of American Eagle. You guys remember American Eagle years ago? She was a manager of American Eagle. And she said I wasn't paying attention today, and I almost walked right into the propeller. And sometimes we think our job is so safe. You know what I mean? Like, our job is just like a safe thing. Never forget, I was coming home on Queens Highway with my girlfriend at the time. She's my wife now. Raining cats and dogs, and somebody run into my car. Bam! The car started sliding all over the place. I couldn't control it. They just dig a ditch. They just dig a ditch over on the left-hand side of the road. I going home. I headed west. I on Queens Highway headed west. It raining cats and dogs. We couldn't see the light in the car. I couldn't see nothing. And we driving, trying to be safe. Got the caution lights on. It's just me and her. She said, "Oh my God!" And she's scared of the lightning, so it hitting. Bam, 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 bam. Lightning, thunder, rain, boom, boom. She said, "Oh Jesus, oh Jesus, oh God, oh God, oh God." I said, "Calm down. It can be all right." Somebody hit us. Bam. That car started sliding all over, and he hit us so hard. The car gone over the ridge because they digging out. They was excavating this kind of a space, right? And as they digging it out, they put the fill right in the side of the road, so they made like a little hill. The car going over the hill. I said, "Oh, Jesus God!" And she's screaming at me. Ah! 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 She freaking. I said, "Stop freaking out. I can't think like this. I'm trying to navigate so we don't go in the water." You understand? They hit the guy. Bam! I slide over the top of the ridge, going all the way over there. I hit no tree yet. And all kind of pine trees was right there. Over the top of the ridge, going right over there. Bam! And the car stopped. The car stopped now. I look around, see if I'm on the edge of the water, see where I am in relation to these particular things. Okay, we all right. I could reverse and get out. She freaked right out. She's still screaming. I said, "Baby doll, you okay? Stop screaming." I said, "Baby doll, you're okay." And she must automatically take when her mommy tell her things like, "Oh girl, watch yourself now. You never know what's gonna happen out there," right? So So she thought, oh, in her mind, she might have been saying, oh, mommy, tell me things like this or whatever. I don't know. But she's screaming so much, and we already didn't stop. You need to calm down, baby doll. You need to relax. Life has happened just like that. Bop! Just like that. Bop! My father-in-law had a very good friend. His name was Ramsey. He passed away. His wife also passed away. A very good friend. He was battling cancer. And they tell the story after he died. Bahamian people can come up with these kind of stories to add to our repertoire. But they tell me the story after he died that he woke up his wife and he said, I won't go to the beach. So this was like early in the morning before the sunset, before the sunrise. And they went right to Xanadu Beach. Right there on Xanadu Beach, which is now, I think, MSC. They went to Xanadu Beach, put right up there. Beautiful place. If you know Grand Bahama, some nice places out there. Beautiful beaches in Grand Bahama. Very quiet. You could be able to relax. She pulled up to the beach. He got out. She got out. He got ready for the water. He walked into the water. He was dying, you know. He was dying. He said he won't go to the beach. She'd take him to the beach. The story comes back that he dived into the water and never come up. He was floating after that. My mind, the way I think, automatically put a door right there where this man died. My mind put a door right there where he dived in to death. An appointment that every single one of us got to meet. A threshold that every one of us got to step over. One way or another. Unfortunately, some people is get run down. Some people is get stabbed, shot, lost their life, lost, earthquake, this, that, all these things happen. But there is a door that you got to go through. You can't, hold on, you go before me. You can't, there ain't no skipping in this line. That for you. When your ticket get punched, poof, you got to go. I often think about how quick life happens and the necessity for being prepared in your faith. In your faith. Let every man work out his own soul's salvation with fear and trembling. In your faith, are you prepared? That's all these questions is. The inevitability of these questions being pulled back into this position. Are you ready? Oh, I'm not ready yet. The 18-year-old had so much life to live. But the contribution that she would have made into her father's life, into the life of the people around her, is an amazing contribution. I got to be clear with you. The stories that they tell about her, the life that she would have led, the encouragement that she would have given out, this idea of empowerment that she would have led. Diamond. She was absolutely a diamond. I never met her yet. And the stories that have been told about her post-death, the commitment her father made to ensuring that his baby girl has an internal space that you could be able to understand that even while you're not here, that I have a love and appreciation for you, says a tremendous amount. Says a tremendous amount. I got to be clear with you as I say this to you. Our stories are so wrapped up in whose fault is it? And never in are we prepared. My mind My mind. You ever been on Bahamas Air or on Western Air? And you get into Sky Bahamas, especially Sky Bahamas for Jesus' sake. I was in Sky Bahamas one time. Randy won't hear this, but I was in Sky Bahamas one time. The plane shaking. All kind of turn my dust hit me. I said, Jesus, we ain't gonna make it. This is too much. Jesus Christ, this is making die. Oh, turn my dust. I didn't even see the wood in here. What happened? Oh God, I can dead. This is too much. I ain't never going back on Sky. What? Oh no. You know the plane shakes and I sit by the window. All kind of turn my dust on me. I said, oh, Jesus, no, this is too much. You ever been on the flight and something happened and the plane dipped a little bit, right? Dip. All you hear in these Bahamian flights, oh, Jesus, and somebody's grab you. And then somebody who ain't never been on a plane before, never. Obviously, I don't know how I get on these flights. These people never been in a plane before. You hear them, Jesus, in the back. Jesus, 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 Jesus. Oh, in the back. My mind says to me that there was prayers, even though that this was an inevitable type thing. This was by design. That there was prayers that is going up. That these people come from the church. This boy Giovanni McKenzie come from church. He come from playing for the word of God, playing in the midst of those things. He know his God. Just by proximity alone, he know his God. And he got to be able to activate prayer in a time of need. And even though that prayer may not find you the remedy that you desire in this lifetime, in this realm, the preparation to be able to step into the new realm, into paradise, in our faith, I believe that this could be able to happen. So I pray for these people, man. I really do. I pray for their souls, the preservation of their souls. I pray for their alignment. I pray for their families who ain't gonna have it easy. No matter how much we talking about these things, it's hard to lose a loved one. It's hard. And so we pray for them. We pray for them. And I pray that we jump off of the bandwagon of our colonial masters and forefathers, or our colonial, the colonial mindset that exists in there. They ain't our forefathers. I got to fix that. That colonial mindset that exists in here, that always seeks to identify and place the blame someplace else. We understand one thing. This was an appointment. This is what we knew. This is what we knew. This is what we knew. This is what we know. The Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. This is what we know. This is what we know. And you ask, Mama, how much children you got? Child, I got 9 children living. This is what we know. Tribulation has never been foreign to us. We know. Death is something that we all understand. We know. But what we know more than that is a relationship with supremacy, with God Almighty, to take us to where we're called to be. This too shall pass. Whether that is the tribulation that we endure, or whether that's the life that we live, this too shall pass. Condolences to the families. Condolences to these particular people. I don't want to relive this. I don't want to talk about this, but I just want to talk with sobriety and the necessity to realign ourselves. I want to be able to do that. Guys, in these last 2 minutes, I want to be able to talk to you about a couple of things. Most recently, we would have been able to see something. And I thought it was a peculiar story also. I didn't know what to make of it. I think this is a story. No, they've seen the story. I think, let me see if this is the story. Hold on. There was a story that actually came up with the death of a man. I think it was 59 years old, or 50-something years old, that they spoke about. Let's see if we can be able to find that before we go forward about anything else. They spoke about that. Let me see if I can pull up that story before we go further, so we can talk about that. I'm just kind of swimming through these things just to look for the story, so we could be clear about these things. I saw it, I read it, and I want to be able to speak it and say it to you. There was a story that came through over the weekend that was this it? Police have initiated an investigation following the fatal shooting on Sunday in the vicinity of Ambrister Street and Fox Hill. No, this is not it. This is not the story. There is a story that actually goes where this gentleman was found stabbed, and he just gotten hit by the police who pulled up, and they saw him. He just got hit. I just watched the story last night. He got hit by somebody. As a result of being able to be hit, the police stopped him, and when they found the gentleman, he had stab wounds on him. And they ran after this other guy who ran through a community in Somerset, right, off Cowpen. And he ran into a dead end and so forth and so on. And there was this sort of a shootout with the police and so forth and so on. And I think the gentleman who was found hit passed away. This is crazy what's going on in the Bahamas today. Is that the story? Am I accurate? Am I accurate in that information? I got to see if I'm accurate with my information. A 54-year-old, no, that's not it. A 54-year-old Chinese man, worker dies in an industrial accident at the sporting center. Yeah, we saw that also. Yeah, man, there's a lot of things that we're reading that has to do with a lot of death and separation that we have out here. All I can say is, let's get ourselves prepared. Let's get ourselves prepared with a very clear understanding of where we're called to and how things are happening out there. It's sad that we're going to have this kind of a laden story about the lives of persons that have been passed away. I want to be able to say with clarity in this particular position, I don't believe that we should always look for someone to blame. I believe that we have a responsibility to ensure that we can the mechanisms necessary to be able to identify how we safeguard these things and how do we take care of these particular things, those mechanisms. I think those are important. Those kind of mechanisms that say, okay, well, we got to fortify this area, we got to fortify that area, you got to make sure these particular things are done, that we don't have to have these issues anymore. I accept those. But just sitting down here just looking for somebody to blame is crazy. Oh, this one did that, and they're the fault. What the hell are you talking about? They're the fault. What the hell are you talking about? They're the fault. Who's the fault? Who's the fault? Yes, let's do our investigation. Let's identify that these people are gone. They're gone. And no matter how much people you put in jail for this, these people are gone. There's that of a satisfaction to be able to identify that, okay, somebody going to jail for the negligence of, listen, I don't know, man. That's just me, okay? I don't believe that we should do that. I don't believe that we should do that. If it was an accident, industrial or otherwise, it's not an intentional. Vehicular, industrial, whatever it is. We have to look at these particular elements. Yes, fortify our elements. Yes, identify how we could safeguard what we have to do. Yes, do what we, but don't look to put people in jail. You don't put the 12-year-old boy daddy, you won't put him in jail. The 19-year-old Lord won't put him in jail. These people out here shooting, deliberately going to look for gun, polishing the thing, putting it in there, cocking it back, having a whole gun what they ain't supposed to have in this country, looking up and down, riding up and down, shooting people, you all let them out of jail in 3 months. These people out here, bad man, all up and down doing what they please, and they going through the system because they've understand how to navigate this accordingly. You ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing in that area, but these people who are making mistakes, accidents, and the inevitability of life happening, and they need to go to jail for 19 years. This imbalance that's happening in society. There's a level of imbalance that's happening here. You need to fix this. I just want to be able to talk about. Guys, that's the show today. I want to thank you guys so very kindly for being able to talk with us today and to jam with us and listening in. I want to thank you guys so very kindly for tuning in. This is 89.5 FM Foundation Radio with Howard Grant right here on the Foundation. Guys, we're going to see you guys tomorrow. God spare our lives. God spare our lives. If it is His will that we are here and we re-engage tomorrow, I look forward to that. You give Him honor, glory, power, and praise, and continue to be able to think about our brothers and sisters who would have lost their lives. And I'm praying that it gives you a very clear understanding through retrospection, through introspection, to prepare ourselves for the inevitability of the steps that are to come in due time and in due season. See you guys tomorrow. God spare our lives right here on The Foundation.
The best talk show in the Bahamas. The Foundation with Howard Grant. Only on 89.5 FM Foundation Radio.
Give me music. Woo! Oh, yeah. Politician. Let's go. Listen. Knocking on my door. First thing early one morning. Politician them knocking. Say they want me to vote for them. Must be that time again. Politics time again. So they gon' try again to get my vote again. No way. Politician them coming. 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 Ain't seen them in 5 years. Didn't know they still exist. Don't come around anymore since they got in that door. Cause everything they say they do seems to never come true. But if they was faithful and true, then they really wanna run from you. No way.